The Overdrive Mechanism. This guy's a blast from the past. It's an opening mechanism Kershaw put on two of their knives, the Kershaw OD1, as you're looking at right here, and its younger brother, the OD2. Looking at right here, both amazing EDC folders. Really like these a lot. Little tricky to find, getting up there in price, even though they're not that valuable as far as their materials go. They're just difficult to find. They're very unique and very functional. Basically, the Overdrive Mechanism is a device that opens up the knife that you've never seen before, unless you've seen this already, and you're just watching this video as a way to reminisce about it. It's literally just a metal piece, a little lever. That's all it is, just one single piece of metal that fits into an appropriately shaped cutout in there. As you can see, it is used to open up the knife. It looks like a flipper. To the untrained eye, this may look like a flipper, but it is not. A flipper would appear right here as a guard. As you can see, it's not connected to the blade, or at least it's not part of the blade. It's a separate piece of metal that pivots, and it is connected to the blade with a separate piece, a little knob that fits in a cutout inside of the blade, and then it just appropriately fits in a cutout in the handle. Boom, there you go. So you push it down 90 degrees to open up the blade 180 degrees. Works exactly the same on both knives. The OD1 happens to be a bigger frame lock, and then the smaller guy, the OD2, is a liner lock. FRN scales here, G10, and then a stainless steel scale here. Really cool, innovative piece of technology. I'm surprised Kershaw did not put this on any other knives of theirs. There were a couple complaints I heard online over the years, but it wasn't very common. Some people said they started moving out of place and not working correctly and getting loose. I've never seen that happen on any of the ones I've had. Maybe those were just lemons, but for whatever reason, Kershaw stopped making these. These were very short-lived, and this mechanism is only on two knives. They're very innovative, very cool. Is there an advantage to it over a flipper? Well, back in the day, back in the early 2010s, when these were around, you don't have to give them a wrist flick at all. My wrist is not moving whatsoever. On most flippers, especially back in the day, you needed to give it a little wrist flick to pop it out. The way the detent was designed, the way the knife was shaped, the weight, and everything else. But with these, you don't need a wrist flick, even for being a manual folding knife. As you can see, it's really innovative. And then even on this bigger guy right here, boom, comes out wicked fast every single time. Beats a flipper, I would say. Flippers, again, because of the detent and the way they're shaped, usually you need a little wrist flick. Here, for example, here's a Kershaw Skyline. Came out, just, I think, either a couple years before this or around the exact same time. This is a flipper, not an OD mechanism. So you gotta give it a little wrist flick. It's not a big deal, but it doesn't open without a wrist flick. This is what happens when I try to open it without a wrist flick. Let's take the OD1, which is about the same size. A very similar size knife. Bang. So why they stopped making these, I don't know. It's really cool. It's like a flipper knife that's not really a flipper knife. It goes flush underneath the handle. It's really elegant, really cool, really innovative, very simple design too. But again, because of mechanical issues, maybe that's why they stopped making it. But again, those were rare, even if they did exist. Every knife, every mechanism in the world has some kind of lemon here and there, so maybe that wasn't the issue. But these days, on modern flippers, check this out, CRKT APOC. Ooh! No wrist movement needed there. This is a completely manual knife. It's got a ball bearing system on there. Lots of knives are starting to use them more and more these days. No OD mechanism here, just a flipper. And it flicks out every single time. No extra parts, no springs, no torsion bar. So back in the day, these were very innovative. I feel like it was like a flipper knife that you didn't need a wrist flick for. But because these days, the way our knives are designed, and not just the ones with ball bearing systems, there's knives we have with flippers these days that just flick out without any ball bearings, just the way it's designed, the way it's manufactured. But again, back in the day, these were pretty cool. I still would like to see more knives with these, because maybe you don't want a knife with ball bearings, you know? And there are flippers these days that flip out without any wrist movement, without ball bearings as well. The Overdrive Mechanism from Kershaw. It's very simple, very effective, very cool. Really awesome. Wish they'd bring it back. Oh well.